Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Gravity Talks. Woo! I'm your host. I'm your excited host, Vicki Yelverton, the proud CEO of Yelverton's Enrichment Services. It's a family-owned company with my husband and myself. We've been providing mental health and physical health services to the community for over 15 years, and I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Awesome. Hello, everyone, and good night. I am your host, Natasha Lewis. I am pastor of Temple of Deliverance Church, also a mental health worker, and also an entrepreneur. I'm super excited about what we're getting ready to talk about tonight.
So, what we're getting ready to talk about tonight is mental health and business. Mental health and business. We have some gurus, some serial entrepreneurs, some CEOs, some business owners with us tonight. They're going to share a little bit about themselves and again about the correlation between mental health and business. Now, one of the things we wanted to just share is that, again, we feel that there's a correlation between mental health and all aspects of life. And for this particular segment tonight, it's going to be to focus on business and mental health. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let the panelists introduce themselves. So let's start with you, Ms. Denise. Tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, thank you for having me, Vicki Overton. I'm truly grateful. I'm Denise Wiggins. I'm a CEO of a mental health facility, Visions of New Hope, out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in the mental health space for about 15 years. I also own a cosmetic line, which I've turned into a direct sales company. We have over 165 reps all over the world that sells the brand. We just launched a trucking company, a family-owned business, launched the dispatching services, and doing so many other things. So I'm grateful to be here to share.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight, Ms. Denise. So let's hop over to Ms. CEO Stephanie. Stephanie, tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, hi, my name is Stephanie Harris. I'm an entrepreneur chameleon. Right now, I own 13th and Aries, which is a upstart program for people who want to start their own home care agencies, because I've been in the industry for 17 years now. I started my first home care agency in North Carolina when I was 22. Then I branched off into some other mental health services, ended up doing case management, and now I've decided that I want to help people start their own home care agencies because number one, it's needed. Number two, it's not a hard business to get into. And number three, you can make millions of dollars in this industry. So I bottled up all these years of experience and decided to share it with, the people who want to start opening up their own home care agencies. And we also, when I say I'm a entrepreneur chameleon, I'm dead serious when I say that. We own a trucking company. I've started a hairline, and I've, just done other things here throughout the years, just, trying to not have all my eggs in one basket. So it's a pleasure to be with you guys tonight.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Stephanie. Let's see, Mr. Fellow. How you doing tonight, sir?
How you guys doing?
Doing well. Tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Fellow Lewis. I am the owner of Lewis Construction Services. My wife and I, we started Lewis Construction Services, this actual entity, in 2018. We owned several other businesses before. We were partnered up with different people in the community. But Lewis Construction Services was like a dream and a passion. We started this company and we did it 100%. We're 100% sole proprietors of a unlimited heavy highway construction company here in the area. And I'm proud to say that we are the largest minority owned company in the city of Charlotte. It's a big deal for us and we're excited about it. We also do a lot of community work, with the Salvation Army. My wife mentors a lot of kids in the Boys and Girls Club. And, we're excited about it. And also I'm the twin brother of your co-host, Natasha Lewis. So,
Oh, wow.
Happy to be here. Thank you guys for inviting us.
Well, thank you for being with us tonight, sir. So again, as we want to get ourselves started here tonight, the purpose of Gravity Talks, Natasha and I kind of birthed this idea, is to help continue to destigmatize mental health. We wanted to continue to bring awareness to the community. And especially, what sparked it since the pandemic was, of course, everything that everyone's been going through. I think everyone, whether you had a history of mental health or not, I think everyone has experienced some level of a mental jolt. And so our goal is to destigmatize mental health, let people know that mental wellness is just as important as physical wellness. The same way you go to the gym is the same way you need to do things to exercise your mind and to keep your mind as stable as possible. And that in the event that some life events occur and you spiral into mental illness, that there are resources available to be able to continue to help you remain as stable as possible. So again, that's the purpose of Gravity Talks. And again, we appreciate you all joining us tonight. So let's dive right in. So let's see. I'm going to start with, Stephanie. Stephanie, share with us a little bit about your understanding about mental health or your correlation of mental health, whether it be professionally or personally.
Around about 2009, I actually was providing mental health services. We were doing case management team. And what I've come to find out is that we all have mental health issues, because I have them myself. But just being in that industry, it just opened up my eyes to a lot of, different issues that everyone has. But, on the outside, we look like we're normal, we go about our day-to-day, but on the inside, there are things that are bothering us. We suffer from depression. I've dealt with clients who were, extremely depressed. I've dealt with clients who had, on the MR side, they had the mental retardation side. I've dealt with, the clients on the mental illness side. So just being in that industry, even growing up being in that industry is not something that's how can I say, it's not something that not don't know about, because I've always been around people with mental illness. Even like my grandmother owned nursing homes and rest homes, so I would go in there when I was 9, and I would work with those patients, and they had mental illness and all of those things. So as I got older, and then I decided to open up my own company, it was just something. It wasn't something that was new to me. It was just something that I've always been around, and I know how to deal with those individuals who have those type of issues.
Gotcha. Okay. So thank you for sharing your story. And as you mentioned, you said you deal with it on a personal basis. So I'm assuming that, again, as you have remained connected to the mental wellness industry, I'm assuming you reach out to supports to kind of keep things stable in your life.
No, I just go about my life like as it is. And when I say mental health issues, I don't mean like I'm, suffering from mental illness. I mean, like, I can't go in my bathroom without my shoes on, that type of mental illness.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. All right, let's cross over to Mr. Fellow. Share with us a little bit about the correlation is, personal or professional with mental wellness.
Well, I don't know how much you guys know about construction work, but you deal with mentally ill people every day on a regular basis. And I say that sarcastically, but my idea of mental health is not necessarily people who are sick or terminally ill or mentally unstable, but just your mental health. I mean, you deal with that. Every one of us, we deal with mental health on a daily basis. As an owner of a company, we have almost 50 employees. We're at like 46 employees. So that's 46 families that I'm responsible for, that we have to feed. And, so you just imagine if you have 40 plus employees, and, usually each family has a man and a wife in the household, and most of them have kids. So, you could easily multiply the number times 3 or 4. So I'm responsible for a lot of people. So, given that, you deal with everyday life issues. Guys need loans, or their bills are behind, or, they can't get to work because their cars are down or whatever. So, you end up being an owner of a company, a counselor, a loan agent, a big brother, a lot of the young guys that work for me, some of them are or have been incarcerated. And it's something I can relate to. So I deal with a lot of different people on a lot of different aspects where it comes to mental health and just health in general. So this is actually a great topic for me because it kind of resonates to home. Stephanie and I, we're I don't know if anyone knows it, but we're related. So her grandmother or her great grandmother is my grandmother. So our family history is dealing with nursing home patients. So as kids growing up, we saw all kinds of different mental health issues in dealing with the rest home and the nursing homes and things of that nature. So we're actually more experienced than what you would think in that area because we've seen it a lot, from kids growing up to now adults.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I like what you said about, being the owner and being the manager to several employees, how the weight that is on you as an owner, you and your wife, that you have households that you have to help support. So that can be stressful.
Definitely. We're responsible for a lot of people, not just ourselves. We pride ourselves on being just good people. We're God-fearing people. We trust and believe in God in everything we do. We put God in our lives and in our business. Just even how we started our business, we stepped out on faith. Because being in this industry in the South, being a young African-American man, it's one of the toughest industries to start a business with, being given my age and my race. So it's rewarding, but it's also difficult. So
Okay.
just how you look at things and how we go about our life it means a lot.
Well, thank you for sharing, sir. Thank you for sharing. Let's see, Miss Denise, share a little bit about your connection or personal or professional into mental health.
Wow, that was really good because our stories are similar. Again, I have 42 employees, and that's just in my mental health company. And then I have 160 something reps. And you're talking about those families as well. So the weight of all of that, being a CEO of different things and people's lives are in your hands. You are that coach, you are that mother, you are that big sister, you are that lender, you are that whatever it is that they need, you are that one. So to take it back a little bit, mental health hit me when my daughter was born, who was born premature at 1 pound, 10 ounces. I didn't know anything about mental health. I didn't know, I know when we were coming up, we've seen a lot of it, but back then it was always, oh, he's just retarded. That was the word that we used. I was born in the 60s. So a lot of mental health was in my own family, but back then we didn't know anything about it. But when my daughter was born and the slowness of her learning when she was much younger is when I really got hit with mental health and how to actually deal with it. And that's what really drove me into learning more about it. I didn't go to college for mental health. I don't have a degree in counseling or anything like that. I was self-taught by the grace of God, and who is the CEO of everything that we own, my husband and I. So from learning how to deal with people and meeting people right where they are and understanding that it's something some of us can't get over. And we know it's a spirit, but some people need more than the church side. They need counseling. They need to be medicated. So just learning all of those things as my daughter began to go through her transition, and I work with her because we have to be that advocate for them. And that was what God just placed it in my lap. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to do it because when you're talking about your child with those type of issues at such a young age, it hits home differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, mental health is very dear to my heart.
Thank you, Denise, for sharing. And your daughter is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
So God be the glory. She has definitely turned out to be an awesome young lady. So you should definitely be proud.
These are some awesome stories that I'm hearing about the connections, and you guys you pretty much painting a picture of who you are as individuals. And one of the common threads that I've been hearing so far, just kind of across the board, is that you guys carry the weight of the companies that you own, and with that weight of what you're carrying, the responsibility for those and the families that are connected to those that are employed by you. My question is, how do you guys manage the weight and the pressure from having to be responsible? Because that's basically what it is for that many people. Anybody wants to answer this one? This is a free for all.
Well,
go
ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. Ladies always first.
I carry the weight really with a praying husband. He stays before the feet of Jesus day and night. But then I also know that I have to get away and take care of myself, because I can't be anything to anyone on a half-filled cup. And sometimes I just go away, shut the phone down, don't answer no emails, don't do anything, because at the end of the day, they are counting on you. And even though I have an assistant, I have an executive assistant, and I have a team of people, it's still, you are the one that they're actually leaning on. So self-care is really, really big for me. It's really big.
And so how often do you engage in self-care?
Ooh, try to do it weekly. I try to get away 2-3 days. I'm at the spa. I'm going out of town. like today I'm out of town. I just decided to jump on the road and drive to DC. I knew what I needed to do for Vicky, and I'm here.
You're making too much money, Denise.
Yay!
I was wondering why your tree was up.
Too much money.
My tree up already.
I'm at my sister's house, and I brought everything that I needed. I was like, listen, I'm hitting the road. I'm going. I just need to get away. I need a break, because again, I'm new into trucking, and it's been stressful learning all these different things. And I knew I got to take care of me. Can't nobody take care of me like me. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome on a Monday. Just gone.
Just gone.
Just gone. Pack the car up and just gone.
I know that's right.
No, that's right,
honey.
Definitely. Fellow, you were gonna respond?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me it's simple. Can I speak freely?
Yeah.
Or do we need to censor I have to censor what I'm saying, or is it okay, Vicky?
Speak freely, sir.
So I work my ass off, to be honest. Like I told you guys, for me, being in this industry, this is not a minority. This is not a dominant minority industry. Usually, most minorities are workers; they're not owners. And that's not making it into anything about race, but that's a fact. And in the South, it's tough. So I get up every day, I put my boots on, and I go to work. And the people, my employees, they see the man who I am. I communicate, and I'm engaged, and I work my behind off. As simple as that. Nothing. I understand that nothing is gonna ever be given to me in life, and so I go out and take what I want. But I work my behind off, and I make sure that my family is taken care of, and the families that I'm responsible is taken care of. And I think that's the most important thing. And that's when I talk to younger people or aspiring entrepreneurs or anybody out there that has a dream or a goal, anything that, is worth having is worth working for. And so I put the time in, put the time and the effort in. Some nights it's 8-9 o'clock before I get home, and sometimes I'm still going, but it's easy for me because I love what I do. I absolutely love it. Natasha, I mean, you know what I was like as a teenager. And Stephanie, you do too. So you guys know that probably 99% of people who knew me as a young man growing up never would have thought that fellow Lewis would be sitting down as a owner of a construction company living in the South, working in the South, because that wasn't my life plan. But, you know, once I got a hold to it, I ran with it, you know. So, you know, work ethic, you know, is important. And that's how I carry the weight is I get out every day, I put my boots on and I work and I put the time in.
That's what's up.
I like that. I like that. Stephanie, how about you? How about you?
Okay, so with me, I deal with it at work. I don't carry that weight home because after a long day's work, and I've dealt with, at one point in time, I've had roughly like 25 employees. I can't deal with all of that. I deal with it as it comes, and I deal with it on the spot. And I have systems in place where if you need time off, if you need to come in and talk to me, it's an open door policy, come in and talk to me. But other than that, when I'm leaving, I don't take it with me home because I got to go home to a husband. I got 2 kids that I have to come home to, and I'm not going to bring that negative energy to them. So I'm going to deal with it right there on the spot, and I'm going to help you along the way. But again, I've learned not to cross those lines with employee, or you becoming my friend. So I cut it out. I treat you like you're an employee, and then I'll handle it accordingly. So if you're telling me, let's just say, for example, your lights are about to get cut off, then okay, I honestly feel like that's a personal problem that you should not have brought to me. But okay, we can deal with it now because I'm not going, from an employer standpoint, I'm not going to bring my personal problems to you. But okay, so your lights get cut off. Well, you have a system in place where you can get an advance on your paycheck to pay, to pay your light bill. But other than that, no, I've learned to draw the line, because you have to draw the line, because you have some of those employees that are needy. You have some of them that are conniving. Some of them just ain't gonna never be happy. And if I have to deal with all that, then I'm gonna be crazy. So I'd rather deal with it on the spot. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going to. It's not in a disrespectful type of way. It's in a, because I'm the type of person, I'm straight to the point with no chasing. Like, give it to you real, and that's that. But I make it where you're comfortable enough to come in, talk to me about some things, not everything, but letting them know that, hey, you can come talk to me. You might not like my response, but you can come and talk to me. But I'm not going to take on your issues. I can't do it.
Now, I love
with no chase.
With no chasing, and I love that because that's how I roll too. But
what would you chase it with, though, Stephanie?
You said what?
What would you chase it with if you had to chase it?
So Coke.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna throw this out here. Because one of the things, and it sounds like from when you all first started out, I'm sure you started out with probably one, you probably the first employee, then your spouse was probably the second employee, and then you went on, and before you looked up, you had almost 50, 150. Me and my husband, we have over 200 employees. But it's hard because when you go from that mom and pop type company with that intimate feel, how do you take people with you? Because the mentality is you're not accessible. Before, back in the day, they had our cell phone numbers. They could just call, like Stephanie mentioned. If they had an issue, they can go straight to the CEO and talk to them. Now you have to have layers in place to be a successful business. You can't be that to everybody anymore. You have to have your management layer in place, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. Have you all experienced any growing pains? Because I'm sure you all going to continue to be successful. And in order to do that, you have to have these safety nets in place. But how do you do that? How do you go from being an intimate type of company to being this major corporation? Because, yeah.
For me, starting off, yeah, you have that, it's a little bit more intimate. But like, I've been in the game for 17 years, so it's been a lot of growing pains, because I would like get offended when somebody say something, or feel a certain type of way. Then I had to stop it. I remember back in 2000 and I think it was 2009 with my mental health agency. You know, at that time, I didn't have my degree, but I had been in business since 2003. So it was an issue with, oh, I'm working for her and she only have a good enough degree. I'm working for her. But in my mind, it's like, well, I'm smart enough to know that if I don't have the credentials, I'll hire the person who has the credentials. Like, that's what you do, right? Now, eventually, I did go back and I did receive my bachelor's degree from St. Aug, but those were some of the things that I had to deal with. So I learned along the way how to separate myself. Like you'll get a little bit of access to me, but trust me, I'm gonna have a team in place where it's gonna take you a minute to get to me because I'm already focused on 30 million other things. So I really don't want to hear it unless it's like the big issue. So I need my management to handle those issues before it even comes to me. Because, like, you know, as an entrepreneur, as the owner, we take on so many different responsibilities and we always thinking about the next best thing. You know, how can we make our company greater? How can we scale our company? So I just don't have time for it. So yeah, I'm going to separate myself and make myself less accessible. And it is what it is. I know maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, that was one of the issues that some of the employees were having. Well, Stephanie, she come in and speak and that's it. Yeah. And I sat in that when I called a meeting, I said, yeah, I'm going to come in. I'm going to speak. I'm going to make sure y'all have snacks because I kept the snack cabinet packed. I'm going to make sure you have benefits. I'm going to make sure if you need anything that I have the tools and the resources there to get to you. But what I'm not going to I cannot sit here and be your friend. I cannot sit here and have that type of relationship with you because I'm keeping the company going. You know what I'm saying? With your guys' help, I'm keeping the company going. So I don't have time to sit there and, we going out to eat and having drinks. Like, I'm not that type of person. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to treat you like you're my employee. And and I tell anybody, if you're going to be on this team, I need for you to want to grow. Mm-hmm. I need you to want to grow with the company. I need for you to want to bounce up. Because I'm looking for people who I can put in bigger positions and take them with me. Now, that's one thing about me. I'll take you with me, but you got to want to go. If you don't want to go, then it is what it is. If you holding the team down, if you're not progressing and I don't see it, then I'm going to, cut my ties with you because at that point you're costing us time and money. And we both know that time and money is a valuable resource.
But let's share this part because I'm with you on that. And it took me a while for us to gain the layers, but to trust the layers. Mm-hmm. Because all of us who birth these babies, our companies are our children, right? Mm-hmm. We know how it's supposed to be done and we want it done a certain way. And I think sometimes it takes a level of trust and comfort to release that to your team. Because I had a hard time and I still have my hands and stuff. And they be like, we got it, just chill, But, have y'all experienced that part of the journey?
Wait. I want to say this before they answer that, because this is about to get real good. I feel it. It's about to happen. That's about to happen. On top of what she said, right? Okay. I noticed that when we had the same this, or even the same gender, it becomes a challenge in the workplace.
Yes.
Did you feel that, Stephanie? Did you feel it, Denise?
Yes, absolutely. So for me, it was a challenge when I started my first business. I've been in mental health for 15 years and I brought on family. So the transition from small mom and pop to a corporation, some people you had to let go because they felt that they had that direct contact and you putting your people in place, they can't relate to that. So, she thinks she better. She thinks she this. So, you kind of go through that. So then you kind of start having these crazy feelings like, well, maybe I am changing. Then I had to tell myself, no, you're not changing, you're growing. Yeah. And when you're in business, if you're looking to expand an empire or create an empire, there has to be layers of management in place. There has to be systems in place. And what I try to tell them, listen, you can't have direct access to me like that anymore. Yes, you my family. and I love you. But when we're here at this company, it's strictly business, and you can't get your feelings involved. So it was a lot of growing pains for me. Over the last decade, I've really evolved. On how to deal with those type of things. Not only that, he taught me, and she's teaching me strategies on how to let go. Like what you just talked about, Vicki. A lot of us hold on to our babies, but we don't understand that we're stopping our growth from that. I have to pray and I say, Lord, I need you to show me the heart and the face of who is the next person in this leadership role. Who is the next person that I can trust? Now, when you're talking about that admin and that executive people right here in your back pocket that you really got to let some things go to, that's a different thing. But when you're talking about building your team and your leadership team, because now you got Susie over here that's handling your LPCs and your licensed clinical social workers. Then you got Sarah that's handling your QPs and your APs. And then you got this person that's supervising your team. Okay, you can't be in all places at one time, but you want to learn how to scale that thing down to hit those numbers like $20 million a year, $50 million a year. How can one person do it when your hands is in it like that? So I'm learning these things. Step back, put the systems in place, and let it grow. You know, Grant Cardone is one of my mentors. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but I see how he's built this billion-dollar empire. Grant can't do it alone. He have to trust other people. So I'm saying that to say, for those that are listening, trust the process. I'm learning to trust the process. I don't want to be everything to everybody. I'm like Stephanie, no, step back, leave me alone. And I don't want to say that, but sometimes that's how I feel. So just to talk about Enough Cosmetics, I have my VP of sales in place. She don't let nothing get to me. I have executive directors, I have regional directors, and I have a national director. You shouldn't be contacting me about anything. There's a chain of command.
Right.
And we as Black women that own businesses, they don't give us the respect that we deserve.
Right. Right.
That there's tight systems in place that you don't have that authority to get to me like that.
Well, and talking Miss Lewis, I'm sure you're gonna share that. You know, I had to get to that threshold too, where stuff was getting brought to my attention. And what do I say, Miss Lewis? What do I say, ma'am? What do I say?
Can you ask me later?
Yeah, I say y'all figure it out.
It didn't come to mind. I couldn't
Figure it out.
I didn't know. You know what? I didn't even know. So listen, I want to know because
You know.
But wait. Now you guys have interesting perspectives. Because Stephanie is saying, you know, she said, "Hey, feed you and shut the door." And Denise, she said, "Don't call me. I trust all y'all to handle that. If you can't handle it, goodbye. You don't need to work for me." But Fellow said earlier that he's putting on his boots and he's going to work. So this is different interactions. He's actually right there, hands on with the guys and things like that. So yeah.
I put my boots on too, like Mr. Fellow.
You just interrupted me. I was on a roll. That was about to get so good. You know,
You see what Campbell said? What y'all telling me for? Y'all figure. See what I'm talking about? The people know. That's right here. That's one of my right hands right there.
So Fellow, I want to know, like, so how do you look at, you know, the management and just being able to get that break in between, or because you're right there all the time. So are you handling everything, or how does that work?
So for me, I believe that in order to be successful, you have to know everything that's going on with your business. You can't trust anybody better than you can trust yourself. And so no matter how much growth you have, no matter how much you have in place, you know, I don't care if you have 50 managers or whatever, you still need to know what's going on. So when I say I put my boots on every day, that just means that I stay on top of everything that's going on in my company. Whether it's, I don't physically go out and like pick up a shovel, but I'm involved with the estimating. I'm involved with the project managers and what they have going on. I'm involved with the site superintendents and what they have going on. I do site visits. Some days I spend the whole day. I jump in the truck with one of the superintendents and ride around and give my perspective on what I see. So I'm constantly educating myself on what is actually going on with the company, but also I'm constantly teaching. We have weekly scheduling meetings. So every week, I sit down with all my upper management staff. We've got 2 superintendents, we got a project manager, we got an estimator, and we have an office lady. So we sit down every week and we do a 2-week look ahead. So we plan at least 2 weeks in advance. But I'm just involved with everything, and I try not to let anything get past me, But I do agree with what the lady said. You have to have people in place to help you because, those growing pains are tough. We went through them. We went from having 2018, we had a great year. And then 2019, we increased in size by, I would say, about 250%. So we had a lot of growth really fast. And one thing that everybody in the sun told me is don't grow too fast. Don't grow too fast. So me, I'm one of those ambitious types. To me, there's no such thing as that. Well, actually, you kind of learn the hard way when it comes to that. You grow fast. Coming from not being a very wealthy kid to making millions of dollars, it changes you. But so I was this type of guy. You know what? Being in this industry, I'm not gonna let anything get past me. So I grew as fast as the market made me grow. Well, that made me literally more than quadruple my company in less than 12 months. And with that, you go through pains because having the right management in place or not having the right management in place can get very expensive. You end up having to redo a lot of stuff, So learning that, and then it helped me, because you learn how to become organized, and it helped me get really organized and structure my company. And then, we got to a point where I said, you know what, even though now I got management in place, I still don't know how to manage a $50 million a year company. So I went out and I hired a coach. So I have a business coach, and we work on strategies and just life plans. And, he asked me a question and I didn't even know the answer to it. And it's kind of like what you asked. He asked me, says, "Fellow, what is your role in your company?" And I didn't have a real answer. So we worked on that and we figured out what my role was. I figured out that I was doing things that weren't of high value, so I learned how to structure my time to where I'm doing high value activities, and the low value activities that don't really profit the company, I delegate those to people and put people in place to take care of that. And so when you understand those things and you understand, everything about your business, it makes it easier. So this year, this transition that I've gone through is making things very easy. Like the lady said, putting the right management in place, that's so important. If you're going to start a business, you need to know how much management you need, and then you need to know how to put it in place. And then you need to make sure that you hire the right type of management, that management person has to have the right demeanor, the right mentality, the right amount of knowledge, and then the right amount of integrity to know how to deal with the employees that you have. I don't know what it's like.
But go ahead. I want to ask you about that part now, and because I asked the question and y'all almost started answering it, and then y'all flipped on me, and I'm going back to it right now because we just brought it up. Yes, I was asking, when you start to get, the company start to grow, people start changing on you, and the ones that you were trusting, you found out that they were just, and it might, you guys may have never experienced this, but I've seen it where sometimes it's our own people that turn against us and, doing manipulative things in the midst of working for us. And it's almost like they start not liking you. Do y'all know, have y'all experienced that?
Oh, definitely. For me, like I said, in this industry, you don't see a lot of African American guys in a position of, I guess, leadership would be a better way to describe it. So everywhere I've ever been, from when I owned a company to before I owned a company, I was always the youngest guy, the youngest leader at whatever I did. So like when I worked for other people, I was always the youngest supervisor. When I started a company or several companies, I was always that youngest guy. And then dealing with being given that, and dealing with other men that look like me, you get a lot of jealousy. You get a lot of, just speaking frankly, our people, a lot of us, they look at you and they look at your age and they say, the first thing they think is, well, I know more than this guy, or I've been doing this for X amount of years and you're only this age. So there's no way you can tell me what to do or you know more than me. And, my response to that was always been, well, if that was really the case, then you would be telling me what to do and I wouldn't be telling you what to do. So you get a lot of jealousy. I've dealt with that. Like the guys that look like me have always given me the toughest time.
How about you, Denise? How about you? Have you seen this? Everybody's nodding.
I've definitely experienced that to the point where people will try to sabotage your business, putting in bad notes when you haven't seen a client and you go back and, we have our staff to call the client and they've never seen Miss Sarah. But Miss Sarah has been with me so long, we thinking that we can trust her. But then when you put new systems in place, because he or she has been there so long, they don't want to abide by the rules because they've been there so long. So now they want to try to do things to try to sabotage you. I mean, it has gotten so bad years ago that they even call the state. Now you put the notes in the system, not me, but you're gonna call the state. So they come out and pull all these charts and do an investigation and blah blah blah. But they didn't find anything. But this is my thing. You want to be mad at me because of what we're doing as we're growing, and you don't want to follow the system. It's time for you to go. And you just have to be okay with that. And sometimes it's hard, being a business owner because we cross lanes. Sometimes we get our feelings involved and we get emotional about things. And let me tell you, I just have to stay in prayer. Lord, you're going to have to help me with this kind of stuff because some days it's not easy. Sometimes it can be very hard when you've had employees that's been with you from the beginning, 10 years, 12 years, and then you face with this kind of thing. You're like, okay, now what do I do? Put your big girl hat on, take your emotions out of it and handle it. So yeah, it can be rough.
And that's a good segue to management styles, because like you said, even though we're working on building up our team, what kind of managers are we? So Stephanie, like what kind of manager would you say you are? What's your management style?
Well, for me, it is
no chasing.
Most definitely that. I'm not so much as a micromanager, but if you have something that you need to complete, I expect it to be completed. Like if you have a task to do and there's no hurdles in the way that is stopping you from completing this task, I expect that task to be done. I expect you, if your work hours are 9 to 5, then I expect you to be there from 9 to 5. If the break with the lunchtime,
Stephanie, say that again.
You didn't hear me?
Yes,
repeat that.
For the people who didn't hear you, say it again.
9 to 5, I need to be there from 9 to 5. If your lunchtime is from 12 to 1, you to clock out at 12 and come back at 1. I don't want you to come to work, clock in, and then go back out and get your breakfast. That doesn't make sense to me. So
we're independent.
Right. So those are my management styles. Like, do what is expected of you, because Number one is you have an amazing boss who's going to make sure that number one, your check is on time.
Come on now.
Deposit hits. I make
That's
sure
hard.
you might not want to sign up for them. I understand that, but I have benefits in place for you. You do your job. I'm gonna do my job.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this: if you had to describe yourself with a TV character, whether it be a superhero or a movie star or a series on Netflix, what character would it be?
That's
I'm
good.
Superwoman.
Wow.
Okay.
Superwoman. What was she playing?
Superwoman. What are you talking about?
Superwoman.
I ain't know the movie.
Oh, movie. Okay, movie.
That character.
Wait, where's Superwoman? I ain't never seen it. It's a show. Okay, I'm sorry, Denise.
There was a movie. Yeah.
Okay, you can be her. You can be her.
Okay.
I would honestly say I'm Olivia Pope.
Ooh, I like that.
Wait. Ain't that on Scandal?
It don't matter. I'm
It's
on.
the personality she giving us. Personality.
I couldn't resist. I mean, it was, you know.
I get it done. Okay, I get it done. But I'm straight by the book. Like, I'm gonna be done, but I'm gonna be straight by the book because I don't need no lawsuits. I don't need none of that good stuff coming my way, bad stuff coming my way. So I'm gonna run it straight by the book, and I'm not gonna go any other way but down that straight path because I don't need no issues. I know how employees are.
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with them for the last 17 years, and
You okay? You doing like
So yeah, I'm okay, and this is the way I am, and this is what you get. But I am one of those type of people who do listen, and I take feedback very real because I will constantly, look at what the issues are now. If one person complaining about it, okay, all right, I hear you. But if it's multiple people that's complaining about the same issue, then I know that that's something that I need to change. I know that that's something that it may be this system in place that's not working. Everybody's not getting it. So you go back, do some edits, do some corrections, revise it, and then put this in place and let's see how this works. So I do accept feedback from my employees.
Constructive feedback because it's all in the delivery now. They can't come at us any kind of way because some have tried it.
Please don't.
And they dealt with it.
Please don't do that.
they will, and then when you respond the way that they come at you, I've noticed that then they want to call you names when they started, right? And everything. I've seen that happen in real life.
But you know what? One thing that my husband has always shared and reminded me, because I used to get caught up in my feelings too. I mean, that's the manager style I have is a blend between probably Olivia Pope. I say some Superwoman in there. I say Madea because I like to, keep things live and funny. A little bit of Mary J. No, stop. You're not Mary J. But the thing is, he always reminded me of whenever there's a scenario or a situation I had to deal with, he said, who has the most to lose?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the most to lose? And it right there would snap me back every single time because you want to go there with them. But you got to always remember the power matrix.
That's right.
The CEO is not supposed to go there with people. Even though we're tempted now, the flesh is weak. We want to go there, but we have to hold back because at the end of the day, who has the most to lose? This is our company, our reputation. And you don't want it to go down that you went there with somebody because then it spreads around and everybody just sees you on that level.
That's right.
That's not how it should be.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I stick with the facts. So I'm not going to, let you sidetrack me or throw me off my game. And this is something that, like, I learned from my girlfriend, Katrina. She was like, Stephanie, like you type in the email, she was like, you bullet point it and you stick to the facts. So I'm always the type of person that's going to stick to the facts. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but I'm going to give it to you real and I'm going to stick to the facts. And by that time, I don't have to go there because the way I put those words together so eloquently.
Oh, no.
You felt it anyway. You was like, this alpha. No, you felt because, and like you said, like at the end of the day, this is my business. If this business gets shut down, y'all going to go work for the other company.
Exactly.
Me, I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years. I can't work for nobody. So this has to work for me. And I'm not going to let anyone come in and tear it down. If this doesn't work for you, then this is not the place for you. And it's okay. We can cut our ties. I'm not going to stop your go get it, girl. Go to buy. I don't care. I'm not that type of person. Because Grimy is going to be sitting there and HR going to be filling those. No, you going to get your unemployment. You get a favor. You were a blessing. You leave this company is a blessing to me.
You were there for a season.
And they are there for a season. Like you have some that's going to stick it out with you.
Yeah.
But I know how it is. Like you got the 6-month turnaround. If you have that person for 4 to 6 months, then you're doing a pretty good doggone job. Because as soon as somebody offer them a quarter more, or they're gone. They are gone. So you have those people for a good 6 months. And if they're there longer, then you did damn right.
Great. That's good because you've been through. I see your face, girl. You just went in. Y'all. You're not going
This is something that I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. Like it's in my DNA. It's in y'all DNA. So it is what it is, and I don't see anything else for me but entrepreneurship. Because growing up, I used to watch y'all, right? Y'all used to have a little 4-wheeler. We couldn't afford the 4-wheeler. Big Mike used to give y'all $20. We used to get the $5. I think that's why I go so hard, because of those things that I went through as a child, those things that I could not obtain as a child. And when we weren't rich, my mom couldn't afford things sometimes, but I always knew that that ain't for me. Like that's not the type of life I want to live. Like I want more. I have to have more. I like nice stuff, but I need to be able to afford that stuff. And so I put that work in. And if I falter or whatever, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to shake it off and I'm going to jump right back into the game, because it's like I said, it's in me. It's in me from my great grandmother. So I gotta walk in those shoes correctly.
Boom, that part.
That part. We just lost Denise. She'd probably be back. Fellows, so if superhero, who would you be if you were a superhero or character on TV? Who would you be? You
probably gonna laugh, but he ain't a superhero, but he's my superhero. My man, I'm more of a crossover between Red Fox and Nino Brown. I'm kind of silly. I like to be loose, but I'm a no nonsense kind of guy. If you know anything about Nino Brown, you kind of know what he was about. And going back to what y'all was talking about, so like one of my sayings is that your emotions has no place in business. So you can't bring your emotions to work being an owner, or even if you're an employee. And I tell the guys that all the time. If you call me and you're upset about something, I don't want to hear it until you can talk to me like you got some sense. Take your emotions out of whatever's going on, and then let's talk about whatever the facts are. But I keep my emotions out of business. If I want to be emotional about something, I get in my truck and curse or whatever, and then get back out, and then we'll talk about whatever the issue is. And that's how I built my company. I don't falter from that, but I'm a no nonsense kind of guy. Like I'm not gonna put up with any type of crap from anybody at all whatsoever. But I am the type of guy that, like Stephanie says, I'll put my hands on you on the job site and then send you down the road, or we can be friends later and we'll figure it out later. But that's just the way I am. I stay in my lane, you stay in yours, but I keep my emotions out of work. And anybody who's aspiring to start a business, if you're going to do that, you can't be emotional because you'll make rash decisions. When you make your decisions based off your emotions, it's irrational. Look how many people fall in love and do crazy stuff, like slash tires and bust out windows and things of that nature because they're emotional. When you're making decisions in your emotions, you're not thinking clearly. And so I try to keep a level head at all times when it comes to business and my decisions with our company in business. I have to tell my partner, my better half, that all the time. Like, you can't get in your feelings about something that happened. This person quit or whatever, they moved on. That's their decision. It don't matter what we've done for that person or how much we helped them. They decided it was time to go. So emotionally has nothing to do with the business, and it helps. It's helped me tremendously. So that's what we do.
So you said Nino Brown and Fred Sanford. That's who he is. Denise, I don't know if you caught that one, but he was Nino Brown and Fred Sanford. So now the only thing I could think of immediately when I heard Fred Sanford was when he said, "You big dummy." So do you? I'm just like,
every day. Every day I can think of somebody that did something really dumb. Matter of fact, today is a prime example. We just moved into a new office and we had some old desks that was in there that had to be taken apart. And I had a guy that was working for me that was there. Told him, hey, take this stuff outside and put it in the dumpster. So today I go outside and I look at the dumpster. The dumpster is there. And the torn down desk is on the ground 5 feet away from the dumpster. So, can you guys imagine that? Like, what in the world was this guy thinking about to where we're cleaning up, we're throwing away stuff that we don't need, and there's a big 10 by 10 dumpster right there, and you decide to put this stuff on the ground instead of in the dumpster 5 feet away. So that was one of my Fred Sanford moments, as you can imagine. And then at the same time, the things I was thinking, I was having a Nino Brown moment as well. So if you guys can correlate the two, but I try to keep it professional though, on a serious note. I treat the guys with respect. I treat everybody the way I want to be treated. Sometimes I have to, when things are going on that I don't like, sometimes I have to just get quiet and count and think to myself before I speak. Because like I said, I don't like to speak or make decisions out of my emotions. But you have people that they're physically there, but mentally they're so far away from work until it's just sad, and you think about paying these people a lot of money, and then they just make dumb, stupid decisions. And it's like, what are you thinking about? Like, are you even thinking at all? How can you make $150,000 a year and make this dumb of a decision? And it's like, it's mind-boggling, so it gets tough sometimes, but, so the superhero in me comes out every day, every day. Every single day.
Let me shift gears because I know inquiring minds, the people, I'm speaking on behalf of the people, as sometimes Natasha says, the pandemic, y'all. Let's talk about this pandemic. I don't know how it may have impacted construction. I'm sure some kind of way it has, but, and Denise, with your businesses, and Stephanie, how would you say that the pandemic has impacted your business? And what have you done as the owner, as a CEO, to rebound from that or to combat that? So we'll start with you, Denise.
Well, being in mental health, let's just talk from that aspect because that's what the topic is about. The pandemic hasn't impacted us at all. It actually upped our numbers. What it did was make us go more virtual. So like my doctors and my therapists and my case managers are seeing clients virtually now. So that's difficult for some clients, because clients, you talking about sitting in front of a screen like this and you want to talk to me, and I'm doing this 2 or 3 times a week. That's kind of sticky for a lot of them. So that's one of the biggest challenges that I've seen. And Georgia has literally just opened up. So we're in the office, like we let the staff come in like 2 or 3 days out of the week and work from 9 to 5, again, 9 to 5, like we spoke about. But that's been one of the challenges. We've been inundated with calls and new clients because of what's going on. So we're grateful for that, but not so grateful because we do want our people to be well. We want our people to be safe. But yeah, so we've grown tremendously since the pandemic. But just finding those qualified people that have a heart for this type of work has been a challenge for us.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Stephanie?
So for us, when the pandemic first hit, especially for our trucking company, like I had my husband in the house for like at least 2 months almost. So I didn't want him to go out and, drive. Didn't want the drivers out there driving, because it like me, I watch MSNBC all day long. Like, so watching this and hearing all of these stories, all these people die, now that took a toll on me. And I just didn't want to die, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't want my husband to die. I didn't want to die. So he did not go out for a while. So in the midst of me sitting here is when 13th and Aries was birthed. And it was like, you know what? We got the pandemic. These people are going to have these pre-existing conditions. People going to need this home care. Let me take these 17 years, I like to say, these 17 years of experience, bottle it up, put it in ebooks, because this industry is really about to boom. So that's where I went to work. I started writing down all these ebooks that I was going to do, and sent them to my graphics designer so she can make it all pretty and stuff. And so that's what I'm getting ready to launch, is 13 Aries Upstart Home Care, where I can show these people how to start these home care agencies. So yeah, I feel like the pandemic was a gift and a curse at the same time for me, because it allowed me to have that downtime, and something was birthed out of it that is just like totally amazing. Like, and that's what I'm excited about.
Awesome. Congratulations. That sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. What about you, fellow?
So the pandemic, for us in our industry, construction workers were essential workers. However, the pandemic was basically like a big roller coaster for us. Pre-pandemic, we were at a point where we were looking at having our biggest year ever. And then the pandemic happened, and then it shut down, and we lost millions of dollars of contracts, multiple millions of dollars worth of contracts. But, by the grace of God, we kept working, and, it actually kind of helped us, because I downsized a little bit, and I was able to kind of get things under control and get a little bit more organized. I've been at this thing for like 20 plus years. And I, like I said, I had other companies where I was partnered up with other people before, but taking on this challenge, by myself and having to wear so many hats that I never had to wear before was different. And so, when I started Lewis Construction Services 100% by myself, I didn't really know, what to expect. And then, we got going, and I realized that people were like, hey, your reputation is good. So, hey, the work just started coming. So we shot off like a rocket ship. And then, with the pandemic, we lost a lot of business, but it allowed me to grow and to put the right management in place. And I learned something. It helped me because I met new people, and we were able to pick up new customers. that actually gave us a lot more stability as a company. So it's really exciting times around Lewis Construction Services right now. We're really excited about, where we're headed post pandemic. I feel like we're coming out of it. They just made an announcement today that they have like a 90% vaccine. So that's exciting. The stock market is jumped through the roof, So I keep an eye on a lot of that stuff. But I'm excited about it. The pandemic, like I said, it rocked us. It scared us. It rocked us, and all of that. But it actually just gave us time to get more organized. We used that time wisely, and now we're just looking forward to the future.
Cool deal. Well, thank you guys for sharing.
Yep. So now we've had such an awesome discussion. You guys have shared so much knowledge and wisdom. This has been fun. This has been great. It's been so good. Of course, I got probably 10 more questions to ask, but we're not going to ask them tonight. So question number one is, if we do it again, would you guys be interested in helping us out one more time? America's watching right now, by the way. That means you got to say nod or, just go ahead, got one, I got two, and I just got a smile from Trello. Smile, I like it. Okay, all right, is that Nino or Fred? But our full circle moment is that time and point where you leave your closing statements with our audience, and we always ask a specific question. And that's just to kind of our leaving statement. Also in full circle, we also want you to let us know how we can support your business, whether you're locally, whether you're online, or what we can do to help promote your business. We definitely want to do that as well. So whatever internet websites or any type of things that we can do to just kind of help you represent your business really quickly. So we definitely want to do that. So our full circle question for tonight is, as a business owner, what advice would you give people who are desiring to go into a business for themselves? And I would also like for you to share a golden nugget coming from the statement of, if I had known then what I know now.
All right. So who you want to go first?
Let's see. I think, let's see. Let's let Stephanie go first.
A golden nugget would be, make sure you pay your taxes, because the IRS don't play. The thing is, you make sure you pay them. And as far as people wanting to start their own business, I say go for it. I know you'll be scared. I know you'll feel like, oh, if I do it, are they going to support me? You're gonna experience all those mixed emotions. I just say go for it. There's nothing like entrepreneurship. It will change your whole lifestyle. It will change your whole mindset. You will grow throughout the process. I say, if you're gonna do it, I always start with the end in mind. So for me, I always say I'm going to be a multi-billionaire. So, all right, I'm starting here. I'm going to be a multi-billionaire, and I back my way into it. And then wherever I'm starting from, I know that that's going to be my end result, is me becoming a multi-billionaire. So I know I need to put these things in place for me to get there. But you hear, and all of that little stuff in between, that's the scary stuff. That's the stuff that bothers you. You just have to go through it, because you're not going to get to the end if you don't grow through it. Stop with all the excuses. Stop saying why you can't, because I need to know why you can. And I'm the type of person that's going to tell you, and with me coaching you, mentoring you, my favorite thing to say is, are you going to shit or get off the pot? And I mean that, because you can't come to me and say you want to do this, this, and this, and then you telling me 30 other reasons why you can't do it. Come to me. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to coach you through it. I'm going to give you the tools and the resources that you need to get through it. But just know that it's obtainable. You can do it. Like, you looking at these other people making all these millions of dollars. You can most definitely do it too. And that's the type of person that I am. You can do it. That's what we live today. You can do it. So all of y'all out there who want to start your business and you're scared, don't be scared or do it scared. Just go ahead on and do it. Get started today. I don't care. Get it out your head, write it on paper. That's you starting. Just make sure that you get started today. And you can follow me if you want to support me. You can go and follow me at on Instagram. It's 13th Aries, 13THARIES. Please go and follow me there. You can also follow me as CEO Stephanie. I'm really going to, this year, I'm really cranking it up. It's like a new person has been born. I'm coming out from behind the scenes because I'm the type of person always been behind the scenes. But I feel like I have a gift and a voice that I need to share. And I'm trying to take as many people with me to this billionaire status as I can.
Awesome.
Right. Praise God. Thank you. Thank you. Just do it like Nike did. They just did it. Just did it. Wait, you got a screen on me. Oh, wait. All right. So next, Mr. Fellow, what you got for us? What you got? You want me to repeat it or you got it?
Yeah, you can repeat it.
Okay.
I think I got it, but go ahead, just so everybody can know.
What advice would you give the people who are desiring to go into business for themselves? And the golden nugget is from the question, if I had known then what I know now.
Okay, that's a really, 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 really great question. And I think the best answer is whatever you're aspiring to do, make sure that you're passionate about it. Don't chase the money, but chase the passion. You have to, whatever you want to do, if it's a business, if you're not passionate about it, then don't do it. It's just like any professional athlete. Professional athletes, they work harder at their craft than anybody does. That's why they're professional athletes. So don't let anyone outwork you, and be willing to put in the work and the effort. Set your goals, and don't just set them in your head, but write them down. Put your goals on paper. I believe in Jesus Christ, so I believe in speaking. I have daily confession, so I speak positive things into my life, into my children's and my family's life. But so I speak positive things about my business, and I confess where I'm going to be and where I'm going to go on a daily basis. But work ethic, passion, and drive, though, that's very important. So, don't let anyone outwork you. Don't chase the money. Chase the quality of the craft that you're aspiring to be. And if you do those things, you can be successful at anything you put your mind to. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't. Because as soon as you feed into that, that's when the negativity set in, and you don't need that if you're aspiring to start a business. For me, it was really a faith thing. We stepped out on faith and said, you know what, let's go with it. And I've stayed positive, and like I said, I don't let anyone outwork me. There's not a person in the company that puts in more time to this than I do, because I know how rewarding it can be. So that's what I do. I work my behind off, and I'm passionate about it. I love what I do, and I'm willing to teach and help and show anybody how they can get there. But you have to want it. You just can't just be a business owner and not want it. You got to eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom with it. As far as a golden nugget, if I had known then what I know now, I probably would have jumped out sooner with being a sole proprietor. I wouldn't have had so many other people helping me, feeling like I couldn't. And that's part of what I was saying before, as far as being positive. I would have just stepped out on faith sooner, So in closing, if you have something you want to do, you're passionate about it, make sure you know your craft and know your cost, know your expenses. Whatever business you're doing, you have to know what it takes. You need to know your cost at everything you do. And if you're passionate about whatever your dreams are, there's nothing you can't do. Thank you.
Thank you. So how can we locate you or support your business? You have
Well, you know, Lewis Construction Services, we're here in the Charlotte area and we're growing. You know, we do a lot of work here in the North and South Carolina area. So, you know, we have a website, it's lewisconstructionservices.com. But, you know, a lot of what we do is bid based. So we bid on contracts. So the way you can help us is just word of mouth. You know, when you see other contractors, mention our name, ask if they know about us, and speak good things about us. Just
what kind of construction do you do, fellow? What kind of construction?
We do turnkey site development. So we do any and everything that you see larger companies do. We do highway work, we build subdivisions, we do grading, paving, curb, and underground utilities. So turnkey site, right where you guys live at, you know, whatever community you live in, we could have done the work for that community. We do schools, we do commercial buildings. So anything you see any other construction company do, that's what we do. We're an unlimited licensed heavy highway construction company. And I'm proud to say unlimited license because that's a feat within itself. You don't see a lot of minority owned companies that are unlimited license. That's a big deal. It's a very big deal for me. And, you know, we're very proud of, you know, where we are and where we're going with things. So that's our website, lewisconstructionservices.com.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Miss Denise. Hey, you need me to repeat it, Miss Denise, or are you ready to go?
Please.
Okay, sure.
Can you repeat it?
Not a problem. What advice would you give people who are desiring to go in business for themselves, and also share a golden nugget? If I had known then what I know now.
Wow. I'm going to go with if I had known then what I know now is I would have started my business long time ago, like at the age of probably 22 years old, I would have went into business. And a golden nugget, study the market, whatever it is that you desire to do. Don't do it for the money. I have a passion that everything that I build or I create it for others. I'm a byproduct of success for creating opportunities so others can succeed. And that's my motto. When we go into business and thinking that it's all about money, you're going to miss the boat. Create something. God gives each and every one of us a vision. Also, he gives us passion and purpose. Find out what those things are. Skill it. Connect with the right people that can help you and move by faith. Even if you have to do it afraid, 1 foot in front of the other, don't look back and keep going. You can do this.
Awesome. You answered both of them, by the way. that. Ooh, I felt the Lord on that. My God. All right.
Hey.
And how can we find you?
You can find me on all social medias, Denise Wiggins. Email for Enf Cosmetics is EINNF cosmetics.com. For the trucking company is PANDWtrucking.com. Same social media handlers.
Question. You have a show too, right?
Yeah.
I do. The Denise Wiggins Show on the Article Radio. And you can find me, Denise Wiggins Radio Show. That's same thing on Instagram as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
I don't know when you have time to do all of this, but you know.
I know, right?
You don't look tired at all. You don't look tired. But then again, anybody that just take off and leave on Monday, you know.
Know what?
Hey.
It is Monday. The whole weekend.
Okay. I forgot it was Monday. I didn't know it was Monday. I just decided to come on out. You know, I didn't know it was Monday.
Enjoy, sis. Enjoy.
I am.
Thank that Crystal City Mall for me.
God is good, I tell you.
Yeah.
I'm like Furlough and Stephanie. You know, we lay them bricks. People don't understand. You got to put in that time. You know, like my daughter tells me, Ma, you be getting it out the mud. I guess that's the young kids saying. I said, what does that mean? you don't mind going in the mud getting it. I said, well, when you come from the gutter, you know how to get it out.
Come
the
on
mud,
now.
right?
Yay.
There you go.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
hey guys, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Denise, my name is Fellow, by the way, but
Sorry.
no, what I wanted to say also to anybody aspiring, relationships are very important. A lot of businesses are built and lost behind relationships, you know. So when you're building your business, you want to build relationships, especially with your clients and your customers. Always do what you say you're going to do. Whatever you say you're going to do, you do it. And don't say you're going to do something you can't do. Don't make promises you can't keep, and always keep your promise and build relationships. Relationships are key, because building relationships helps you build your reputation. And when you build your reputation as a reputable company, the relationships come. So that's very, 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 it's probably the most important thing, is building good, strong relationships. That's all I have to say.
And I'm gonna piggyback on that, because relationships will open up doors for you and allow you to walk into opportunities.
Yeah.
Man, y'all just motivated me. I feel all that. Yes, I just felt good. Y'all like semi-preachers there. Everybody on the panel, y'all can preach. I'm gonna tell you, preaching. The church will get you business today.com. So all right, Vicky, let's it's your turn. The CEO.
Yes. Well, again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. I felt this was an awesome panel. A lot of people had a lot of questions, and they wanted to see the show just to kind of get some nuggets on how do you manage, especially during the pandemic. We touched on a lot of stuff. Like Natasha said, I definitely see this warranting a part 2. But one thing that's interesting about us as entrepreneurs, and as I forget the term Stephanie shared earlier, she's a not serial entrepreneur, but what did you say, Stephanie?
Entrepreneurial chameleon.
Yes, entrepreneurial chameleon. One thing that we all have in common is just think about, like, and Fellow touched on this too, when you talk about sports, certain athletes are gifted in what they do, their craft. Certain artists, celebrities, singers, actors are gifted in their craft. We're gifted in business. We're gifted in making businesses work. We're gifted in taking an idea and bringing it to fruition. A lot of ideas die. A lot of times people don't make this, they don't cross over. The idea just sits there. Sometimes they may write it down, sometimes they don't. But a lot of times ideas don't make it to the actual business side of things like we've been successful in doing. So I just want to tip my hat off to you guys. Kudos for doing what you're doing. Keep doing this great work. But my advice would be, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. So you got to remain connected to the vine. And one thing, it was our church just had anniversary, 20-year anniversary. And I forget which pastor it was, but one thing that was shared is that, again, God gives all of us grace, but he only grants some of us favor. And it takes favor to do business and to be able to move the kingdom. And a lot of times if you're doing kingdom work, and I think Denise mentioned it, that Jesus is the CEO per company. Antoine and I feel the same way. When you're doing kingdom work, you will be successful. So one of the things is you take the idea, you bring it to fruition. You got to do the work, but you also got to stay connected to the vine. And as long as you're doing kingdom work, he's going to make sure you're successful. So I just wanted to encourage those out here with an idea to stay connected, stay prayed up. Pay your taxes, like Stephanie said, but pay your tithes as well. And you will be successful. Shoulda, coulda, woulda known. If I knew then what I know, I have another master's, but I would have got my LCSW right out of college. I would have went straight through school, and probably I would be a psychiatrist by now. I went to school to become a psychiatrist because of my connection to mental health. With my mom, who lives through her mental wellness journey every day, I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but I flunked biology. Went to East Carolina, partied too hard, flunked biology. So I had to shift gears, and I was a psychology major. But I would have continued and got my license and got my perhaps my MD early on in life. So that was all I had. But that's all I wanted to share about the nuggets. Now about the show. Again, guys, thank you tonight for joining us. I just wanted to add that I think this panel has been awesome. It was unique. It was really unique. It was really different, but it was all those undertones about mental health and just life just kept coming out in our conversation. But one thing I know before Natasha closes us out is with upcoming shows, continue to support us in that regard. But Natasha, when you close us out, you talk about the show for next week, ask the people what they want to see so we can get some of those comments in. Ask the people what they want to see when you close us out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I feel like preaching now, so I'll say in my closing. But before I close, I would like for you all to send us in the comments what you would like to see. We're down to the fourth quarter of the year, and so we're going back and we're redoing shows. We're bringing back all-stars and superstars. So definitely, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know, because some of you guys have been with us for all 25 shows, and we thank God for you. We definitely thank God for you. But just in review tonight, we've had Nino Brown, we've had Fred Sanford, we've heard from Olivia Pope and Superwoman herself. And so they have definitely brought us a wealth of knowledge and just insight. And I'm telling you, the way that Olivia Pope shared her information, I'm scared not to open up another business. She said, do it now, do it today, start right now. So definitely, and Denise digging in the mud and pulling it out, fellow strapping on his boots. It has been an awesome discussion tonight. So I've had so much fun. But the one key thing that I've learned from you all tonight, that in order to be successful, number one, you have to be able to solve a problem. And not only that, but you also have to be willing to take a risk. But knowing that your risk isn't really a risk, it's just faith. And knowing that God is going to support you and push you through it all. We pray for you and we pray for your business in the days to come, the months to come, and the years to come for continued success. We pray with you. I would like to say this in my closing tonight. We have marched, protested, seen it on TV, pushed for Black Lives Matter. Here tonight, you have 3, 4, let me count, 5 Black business owners. That's right, 5 on the screen right now. Let us change the course of how we support one another. We say Black Lives Matter, but let's be honest, we haven't always supported each other, stood by with each other. We'll walk into another business because of past history, things of that nature. But let us support one another. Because Black lives shouldn't matter to everybody but us. But let's support our Black businesses as well. The world is changing as we know it. We've seen things, but yet God is in the midst of us. So let us stand by one another and support one another. Let's keep this nation going and let's keep thriving through this pandemic. We thank you all for participating and watching our show tonight. We want to thank all of our guests. This was an awesome discussion. I pray that someone has been inspired tonight to start a business. Start tonight. Stephanie said start tonight. And I pray that you start tonight. And listen, guys, she gave you her information. So guess what? You can find her and ask her some questions. And she also has an ebook, so definitely do that. Miss Denise, I got to get that lip color. So I know you said cosmetics. Hit me up on the inbox. I want to get some of that for the show for next week. But also, guys, in about 30 minutes from now, we're going to do something called an after talk. And Vicki and I are we're gonna chop this whole session up. In a little while, we do the after talk, and we're just going to talk about our responses from the show. So it's going to be in the same place, Facebook Live and YouTube at 9 p.m. So definitely, guys, if you get a chance to tune in. But next week is going to be same time, same place, Monday night at 7 p.m. Our show next week is going to be mental health and what, Vicki?
It's a surprise. Tell us what you want to see.
It's going to be the people's choice. The people's choice.
You got 24 hours.
You got 24 hours to let us know. So whoever, if the kids respond and say they want to come back, they're coming back. So listen, guys.
Coming back in December.
That's right. So thank you everybody. Thank you so much. And audience, definitely look these guys up and just let them know to keep driving and keep pushing. You all have a wonderful and a blessed night. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.